All right guys, we are back again with another video. I am Cameron Mitchell. I am the owner of Archives Jacks, a sneaker and vintage boutique here in Jacksonville, Florida. I told you guys I was gonna continue to create these types of videos that basically help you guys and give you guys insight of how to scale and grow your reselling business, as I did going from online reseller to actually having a brick and mortar store. I want to give you guys the blueprint on how to do so and give you guys tips and tricks of what to do and then what not to do as well. So that's what we're going to be focusing on here in this video. These are things not to do. These are mistakes not to make when it comes to your reselling business. Now, all of these mistakes are things that I have had to learn from the hard way. I have examples for everything that I'm about to tell you in which I've done the wrong way. So this is to show you guys what not to do. All right, mistake number one is being inconsistent with your reselling business. Reselling as an industry as a whole rewards consistency. You can't have days in which you only thrift for 15-20 minutes, you don't find anything. You can't have days in which you're not listing. You can't have days in which you don't respond to customers' requests or customers' questions. You have to be consistent across the board. The consistency is what will reward you with sales and ultimately reward your growth in business. When I first started out in my reselling journey, I was not consistent. I thought it would just be a side hustle. I only had to post 4 or 5 items a week and the money would flow in. That is not the case. My first initial venture with Depop and eBay did not go as planned. I had to come back months later and really apply myself to be consistent and post every single day and thrift heavily every single day. So stay consistent with your reselling venture. Mistake number 2. Not being organized. It will kill you in the long haul. I was the person in school that always forgot to bring my paper and my pens and my pencils, barely had anything in my backpack. Do not be that person, because once you get into the reselling industry, organization is absolutely key. You have to know what orders need to go out. You need to know where your shipping supply is. You need to know where you can go and find the piece that just sold on your racks. If that's all discombobulated, if that is everywhere, it makes your life chaos in the reselling industry, and it takes away your time when it comes to growing your reselling business. So always stay organized. I have had to learn that the hard way. When it comes to this industry, make sure you're on top of your organization. It'll make your life a lot easier. Mistake number 3 is pricing your inventory the wrong way. You need to price your inventory accordingly to the market. Always do research on every single piece that you get to get an understanding of what that brand or what that specific piece is selling for consistently online. You don't want to sit here and have a Harley Davidson tee that's really consistently going for $25, $30 and have it listed at $45, $50. So do your research, because if that's the case, it'll literally just be sitting on your site or sitting on your Depop or sitting on your eBay for days, months, years. So make sure that you understand the market value of every single piece that you are putting out, because if not, you will end up with that piece in somewhat of a death pile. Which piggybacks right into my next mistake, which is creating a death pile. When I first started out, my death pile would rack up because I was inconsistent with taking my pictures and doing my listings. I would have a pile of about 30, 40 pieces in the corner of my room, literally just sitting there taking up space. So negate that death pile by staying on top of your listings. Right when you buy an item, right when you get an item from the thrift store or wherever you're sourcing your inventory from, do yourself a favor. Don't go through the hassle of having that sit. Go and list it right away. Go ahead and take your pictures right away, because the sooner you get it listed, the sooner that listing feeds into the algorithm and you don't create a death pile. So stay away from your death pile, stay consistent with your listings, and try to avoid that at all costs. All right, our next mistake is listing on every single platform. You do not need to list on every platform to make money in this industry. Put your focus on one, maybe two, but for sure, just one. That way, it's easier to keep up with orders, it's easier to keep up with customer engagement, and you know where all your money is. You know where all your money is. You're not going from PayPal to eBay payments to Depop payments to collect your money. You know all where it is. You got to take into consideration, eBay is the biggest reselling platform that is out there. Your items will get enough views if it's the right item and the right value to be able to make money off of. That goes back to my last mistake, is pricing accordingly. Make sure you price accordingly, because if you do and you focus on one specific platform, I guarantee you will make money if you're listing consistently. So when I first started out, I was listing on Grailed, Depop, Poshmark, everything. I was listing on all of them because it's like, oh, it's more eyes on my item. No, that is not the case. If anything, it's gonna get you so unorganized. You're gonna be scattered around and scrambling around trying to keep up with orders on each platform. I mean, there was times where I had orders come in on eBay and then that thing would sell on Grailed like 2 days later, and I'd have to cancel the order. You get a bad review, so on and so on. You kind of get the point. So focus on one or two platforms to sell on specifically. It will increase your focus and it will increase your revenue because all of your time is going to that specific platform. All right, the next mistake, and to me personally, I think is probably the biggest mistake that you can make when it comes to reselling, is being afraid to take risks in this industry. When I first started out, I was very stingy with the money that I was spending and the price points in which I was getting items at, when in reality, I needed to take the risk to get better quality items and invest more money into my business to make more money. For example, investing in nice business cards and investing in better shipping materials to build more of a brand. You need to be able to invest in your brand to make it grow and make it expand. You're not gonna be able to just go to Walmart and get your shipping supplies, or not have any type of ads or marketing that you're investing in. I mean, think of eBay promoted listings. Like, if you're not doing eBay promoted listings, most of the time your item is not gonna be seen, especially if it's a good quality piece. It's not gonna pop up on the beginning of people's feed when they're scrolling through eBay. So invest in your business. I mean, for me personally, when I got to the point when I was starting to really crank out listings, 15 to 20, it became a lot. So what did I do? I invested about $100, $150 a week to have somebody do my listings for me. And that took my business to a whole different level. I scaled from 20 items a day to about 30 to 35 items a day because I hired someone to do my listings. Yes, I would still take the pictures, but the listings is what was taking up most of my time. So now I had more time to be able to go out and source, to get more inventory to increase my listings, and I had more time to engage with customers and do the marketing and branding side of my business as well. So do not be afraid to invest in your business, to scale your business, and to take it to another level. So the next mistake is when it comes to fraudulent items. If anything, if you're out in the thrift store and you're sourcing, you're thrifting, you're trying to find a steal, if anything looks remotely Fugazi or fake, avoid it at all costs, because that will come back and bite you in the butt if you do go ahead and list it and it comes back fraudulent. I have had a scenario in which I have gone into Goodwill and I saw a Louis Vuitton bag that looked a little too good to be true. I pulled the trigger anyways. I listed it and I got flagged and banned and suspended for a a week and a half. That's a week and a half in which my main source of income is completely cut off. So avoid fake and fraudulent items at all costs. At this point, I kind of avoid the higher end brands like Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga, Louis, all of that, just because the risk that it takes when it comes to reselling it at a real level. So avoid fake or Fugazi items. And now that we are in the sneaker game, this little device right here, a black light, goes a long way. I mean, it's simple as just throwing the black light on the shoe, making sure the stickers are there or the stitching is right, making sure there's no stamps, some Chinese stamps on it. Invest in a black light, especially in the sneaker game. The sneaker game is full of honestly pretty good fakes these days, so it's hard to tell from the outside looking in, but this device will show you the shoe's true colors. We've had a scenario, I'm not proud to admit, in which we have spent $2,500 on about 14 pair of dunks, I think 12 or 14 pair of dunks, and half of the batch was cooked. Luckily, we rectified it, we got everything organized and got everything back, so it ended up in our favor, but something like that could really affect your brand. Not everyone's gonna wanna come into a shop knowing that they sell fake sneakers, so make sure you are authenticating your sneakers. Invest $5 into a black light on Amazon, it goes a long way. All right, the next mistake is not prepping your items before you ship them out. Anything that you sell to a customer online, you need to make sure is in the condition that you absolutely described it as. If you go and buy something from the thrift store and it has a couple stains on it, wash it, spot treat it, see if you can get that stain out, because that will raise the value of the garment. But if you can't, make sure that's in your description and make sure before you send it out. I have the fluffiest dog in the world. I have a Norwegian elk hound named Kobe. This man sheds like no other. I had to keep about, I think I had at one time like 4 lint rollers around my house, and when I was selling, I would always prep my pieces by lint rolling them, folding up very nicely, putting my business card in them, and making sure that they were as described. So always prep your items before you send them out. You don't want to get a review that this person has a whole hairball on the garment. Like you don't want any of those type of reviews. So make sure you prep your items and make sure that they are as described in the listing. All right, mistake number, 10. Always be conscious of customer reviews and customer feedback. That is the driving force of your reselling platform. That is the first thing that most customers are going to look at after they look at the initial piece. So always make sure you are in good standing when it comes to your customer reviews. You want to try to keep an above standard on eBay, a top rated on eBay. You want to keep 4.5, 5 stars on Depop. So always be conscious of your customer reviews and never do anything to make that review number go down or make that review bad in a sense. You always want to be in good standing. There was a scenario on eBay where I forgot to respond to a case, and unfortunately I was flagged below standard, and my viewership on my items and my listings went down by 79%, and my sales went down by 48% on that month. So don't be me. Respond to customers. Any questions, customer service is key. So any questions that anybody hits you with in the messages, always respond. Believe it or not, eBay tracks that. So responding and being on top of your customer engagement and customer questions goes a long way. So always be cognizant of your customer reviews and your customer engagement. All right, the last mistake is being scared to accept offers on reselling platforms. Just because you have seen that specific item go for a specific price does not mean that yours is held to that price. You have to remember, we are in the business of making money, right? So if you know that you bought a shirt at $10 or you bought a shirt at $5 and you're getting an offer at $20, $25, $30, go ahead and accept that offer. Do not be scared, because then you can take that money and invest it into the next piece and probably get a higher return on that. okay? I would say 7 out of 10 times that you list something, people are gonna buy it now instead of shooting an offer. But if they do shoot an offer and you can make money off of it, pull the trigger. Obviously, you're not gonna sit here and accept an offer of $30 on like a Magic Johnson AOP shirt, right? You're not gonna do that. Be smart with it. But if it's like a mid-tier, mid-level piece that you can see yourself obviously making money off of, go ahead and accept your offer and do not be scared to accept an offer. All right, so I personally think that those are the biggest mistakes that resellers make in their reselling career. Now, there are a lot more mistakes that I have made, but me personally think that those are the biggest. I want to continue to create these type of videos for you guys. I told you I want to lay the blueprint of what I did to get to the point where I'm at now, being able to open a store and make 6+ figures on eBay or Depop or whatever your reselling platform is. I want to give you the blueprint to be successful. That's the point of these videos, so I will continue to keep making these videos, and any questions or any type of point in the right direction that you may need, do not be afraid to comment or ask. I mean, I am open on all social medias. You can find us at Archives Jax on Instagram. We always answer all of our DMs, so do not be afraid to ask questions. These types of videos will continue to be put out, so we thank you for your support. If you could, once again, like, comment, subscribe, give us some engagement so we can get this channel out to the world. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you